Greeting the reviewers to a new episode of The Good Home. Today with my colleague Dana, we will be talking about interesting topics as usual, which touch you as a family, and we are trying to solve this issue, and we host a distinguished guest as usual, right Dana?
Yes, we love our show and we love the topics that we always prepare for our dear viewers because we try to pick things that they can relate to.
Okay.
Try to solve an issue or we try to highlight a problem that many houses are dealing with. And hopefully we can give them some tips and tools that will help.
Absolutely. And what is our topic today then?
It's a very controversial topic today. I'm excited to learn about it because it's interesting. It's about the invasion of privacy among couples.
Yes.
And how it affects it negatively.
Exactly. And this is very interesting, Dana, because we have to respect our privacy, each one privacy, especially between spouses. And this is, I'm going to talk about it today, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's when you don't respect the privacy of your partner, you're showing them that you're not respecting them as a person. Exactly. You're showing them that, or you're showing yourself also that there's something very wrong with in the relationship. Mm-hmm. Because if you do have trust, then you have to leave each other space, at least 10% for privacy.
And this is why it's very important to be or having a healthy relationship.
Absolutely.
Because we would like to really have this relationship for a longer period.
You need to have a safe environment where you feel you can share how you feel, you can share your problems, you can share your secrets without being judged.
Exactly.
And with feeling supported.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you're looking for a companionship and a partner that want to live with you for a long time. You want to invest in the relationship.
This is the optimal way to really live a healthy and be happy in life, correct?
Absolutely. Life is too short to not be happy or be with the wrong person.
I totally
That's
agree.
my advice, but let's hear the doctor's advice.
Exactly.
So to know more about our topic, dear viewers, we are glad to welcome with us Reem Al-Asfour. She's a life coach and she will be talking to us about this topic right after this short report. Let's watch it together.
Intimacy is important in a romantic relationship. It brings people together and allows them to establish trust and closeness. While in this case, it doesn't mean that two people who are married must share every last detail of their lives with their partners. Everyone deserves some degree of privacy, even when you are married. Privacy in a relationship can be healthy, as long as it does not cross the boundary into keeping secrets from your spouse or partner. Having the right to some privacy, which means that you might keep some personal information to yourself. For instance, privacy in a marriage may mean that there are some embarrassing facts from your past that you do not share. When people in a long-term relationship are able to keep personal parts of themselves secret, this creates a sense of space and privacy. Respecting boundaries in this way actually results in a healthier relationship because both members of the relationship feel that they have physical and emotional privacy.
And we're back, dear viewers, continuing our episode, The Good Home, with our special guest, Reem Al-Asfour. She is a life coach talking about a very useful topic and information. We are glad to have you, Mrs. Reem, with us today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammed. Thank you, Dana.
Welcome, Reem. We're happy to talk to you today and learn from you about this controversial topic of privacy among spouses.
True.
Very interesting topic.
True.
Okay, so let's go back a bit and ask, how do you define a successful relationship among couples or married couples?
And how to make a successful relationship.
To make, you have to find the right ingredients. For any recipe, you need the right fresh ingredients. So you need to know when you're choosing a spouse, whether you're a man or a woman, and you're going into a marriage relationship and a full-term commitment, full-time commitment, you need to know who you're choosing.
Okay.
You need to have common goals. You should be able to share your dreams, working towards something, share your values, talk about how do you think you're going to live your day together?
Okay.
What's common and what's independent? Nowadays, more and more people are getting married at a later age than usually what's acceptable in our society.
Yes.
So you're coming in as full-fledged adults. You're established. You have both done your studies. Most likely, you have started your career. So make sure that you are coming into this relationship with your own independent personality.
And this is
communicate.
And communicate.
Share
And that's
who you
before.
are.
And before getting married.
Before getting married, you need to make sure that the other person, the other side, accepts that you're an independent human being.
Okay.
With the flaws and the good.
Exactly.
Share everything.
Exactly. You have your own mistakes and he has his own mistakes.
Everybody has advantages.
And then you have to accept that this is who you are.
Yes.
The other partner has to accept. One of the best tips I read about being or getting married or choosing a partner is don't marry somebody hoping to change them.
Okay.
So hard changing yourself, let alone change
Exactly.
someone else.
What you see is what you get,
Exactly.
and that's the approach that everybody should take. Sometimes we get people here who think, oh, after marriage, I'll over-dominate that person.
Never
I'll
works.
overtake.
Never works.
It
Many
doesn't.
people think like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is doesn't make a healthy relationship. It makes a lovely facade for people to see, and behind the scenes, everything is a wreck.
Okay.
So being in a relationship, being in a marriage means that you have to work on it. You have to put the effort to make it a successful relationship.
Okay.
It's not a frame that you put on the wall and that's it and it's the end. It's something that you have to work on. You have to put
Ongoing
effort
work, yes.
on daily basis. You have to plan things. You have to keep working together because naturally people change. And successful couples change together.
They grow together, yes.
They grow together and not grow apart.
Exactly. It's really most importantly, Reem, that in the future they're going to have kids.
True.
And their kids going to see them as a role model.
Yes.
And this is why what you just said is very important.
A lot of people nowadays, when they come to choose a partner, they say, I want someone like my mother and father.
Yes.
But they don't know how much the parents have struggled at the beginning of their marriage.
Correct.
A lot of issues come up at the beginning of the marriage, a lot of struggles. It's not easy to establish this perfect relationship we see after 20, 30 years. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of patience, a lot of communication, a lot of respect.
Yes.
And agreeing on issues and agreeing on matters, agreeing on broad lines that like strokes, you have to define this and let's agree, is this acceptable for you?
Yes.
It's not one dominating the other. Definitely. It's not one using the other.
Exactly.
It's about being
not even
there.
completing, it's like complementing each other in a way that you're compatible.
Yes,
Like
you
know
work
that, okay,
together.
we work together.
You
what,
work
what, what about supporting each other?
Totally. It's impossible to I find it very difficult to live life alone.
Okay.
We always need a community
Yeah.
around us.
Correct.
Having that one special person that you go to and you know that person will always be there. You know that person
Holding you back.
exactly
Yes.
supporting you, pushing you,
Yes.
making sure you're on the track.
Yes.
That's why being clear about your goals before you get married,
Yes.
being clear about what you want and what to expect is very important because you need that person
Right.
to be there for you.
Exactly.
And you never know what life throws at you.
Exactly.
True.
We're facing a lot of problems.
Exactly.
Yes.
No one no one has a straightforward life.
No, there's no way. This is life.
This is life.
Exactly.
Coping.
Picking someone who's nurturing your relationship,
Exactly.
a love that adds something to you rather than take away from
Exactly.
you will make it successful.
Exactly.
But it's easier said than done. Finding that person.
It's not rosy pink.
Yeah.
I love your pink, but it's not rosy
Not like
pink.
that
I'm
in
wearing
reality.
roses and you're wearing pink. So it's not what we hear in the songs
Absolutely.
or watch in the movies, and it's very nice and romantic. No, it's a lot of blood and tear that's been invested in these relationships. So make sure you choose the right partner that you want to put that much effort with.
So it is hard to find this partner.
It is.
It is?
It is.
Okay.
It's not easy,
Yeah.
especially if you are well established as a person.
And I can say from experience
Yeah.
that compatibility does play a big part.
Oh,
so if you
yes.
go into something thinking, oh, love is all I need and everything's gonna work out, then you go into the reality, and especially like I've done it twice. And
Yeah.
the first time around was young, so I didn't know what to look for.
Exactly.
So you're right. The time you spend in the beginning learning about the person and seeing what you have in common, and the values need to be aligned. Because when you have different values and then you're together, then it's much harder. And the next time around, when you have the compatibility, next time around for me, it
Alhamdulillah.
makes a world of difference.
Totally.
It adds to you as a person and adds to your growth rather than take away from it.
Absolutely. So you need to know what makes you glow
Yeah.
Exactly.
and find the person who will help this
And
glow.
what's wrong with you for you may be right for someone else.
Absolutely. It's you. It's about you, your life, your choices. So when we talk about choosing the right partner, you should accept each other as independent people. You're not mishmashing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not blending.
Exactly.
For this to happen, there has to be trust. So I think this is where what we want to focus on today is how important is it to have trust among couples?
Exactly.
It's very important. Trust and respect. Two very important elements to have in a relationship, along with understanding and. But I think you can't have a relationship without trust. It's very critical, very important. In order to be trustful or trusting the other person,
Correct.
usually people start trusting their spouse until something happens that breaks that trust. And then it almost doesn't go back to normal again. So if you're going into a relationship, make sure that that person is the right person and
Trustworthy and trust them. until they prove you
trustworthy
wrong.
Yes.
and be honest with that person.
Exactly.
Okay,
So-
so you, sorry.
So, so Reem, talking about respect, so what about respecting the privacy for each other? What do you think about that?
These are things that people should agree on upon before they get married.
Okay.
Okay.
What's expected? What's considered my privacy? What's my boundaries? What's acceptable for you to talk about?
Okay.
Some people consider their financials as absolute privacy.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about it.
Yes.
I'm not going to share my financials. I don't. Some men don't share the financial information with with their wives,
Yeah.
and that's common grounds laid down before
From the
the
Getting
marriage.
married. Okay. For example, my family. This
Yeah.
is kind of my privacy.
For example,
Yes. Don't ask me about my mom, what she's doing, where she's traveling, what she's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So these are guidelines that are need to be defined from the beginning. This is my private life, and they have to accept that there is a private life.
Okay.
I go out with my friends have problems. This is my private life.
Correct.
It has nothing to do with you. As long as I don't bring the problem with me back home,
Exactly.
it's my private life. It's my privacy. I remain an independent human being with my own borders, with my own boundaries. You can't cross them.
This is healthy.
This is healthy.
Yes.
It makes me a stable human if I have my own boundaries protected and respected. And the other partner as well, if I deal with him with full respect to his boundaries, to his privacy, it makes us appreciate each other more. It makes the relationship more nurturing, as you said,
Yes.
more stronger. It
Yeah.
it binds you together.
Yes.
Feeling respected and feeling that borders and boundaries and the privacy
Yeah.
taken together.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I totally agree with you. Respect is so important. We will be talking more about respect and about the difference between privacy and secrecy, but we need to take a short break and we'll get back to you.
Sure.
So, dear viewers, stay with us. We're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back, dear viewers. We have with us Reem Lasfour, life coach, and we're talking about a very interesting topic, which is secrecy or invasion of privacy between couples. So before the break, we started talking about how important the trust is and how each person needs at least maybe 10-15% of his private bubble. You don't have to share really everything for a healthy relationship. Yeah. But when is it privacy, and when does it turn into secrecy? And what's the difference between the two?
As we discussed earlier, privacy is something you've agreed upon. Okay. You accept that this person has, as you said, 5-10% of private life away from the marriage. Secrecy is when something happens right there and then, and you deliberately hide it away, or something that has happened in the past and it has an impact on the current day, on your current life, and you deliberately hide it. Then it becomes a secret. Okay. Keeping secrets is exhausting. Okay. Let's agree on that.
Okay. And toxic.
It's toxic.
Yes.
So it eats you in. So unless you can come up and talk about that secret and bring it up, and preferably in the right manner, it's going to bother you. And sometimes when you keep lying, and the worst part I think is lying about it, and keep tracks of things to keep that secret hidden in order to avoid whatever. That is also exhausting and will lead to very bad outcome. When you know that your life partner is lying to you, is keeping something away from you.
It will drain.
It's very draining to you, and it's very hurtful for your other partner.
Should be in the past, or could be a current secret?
It could be, if it's some events in the past are better kept there. Okay. Don't bring them with you. But some events in the past that has an impact on you today needs to be known to your current partner. But there is a huge but here. You need to know that this partner, when you open up and make yourself vulnerable and bring that secret on the table and lay it there, that this partner will accept it.
So Reem, is the secret has to be in the past, or should be current secret?
Some secrets in the past, they better remain there. They don't need to come back. But sometimes certain events that has happened in the past needs to be talked about in the current day. They have an impact. These events have an impact on you today. So that partner needs to know about it in order to know how to deal with it. But there is we have to stop here, is that you need to know when you're being vulnerable, when you're opening yourself, you're making yourself open to that partner, you might hurt yourself by bringing up a secret. You need to feel safe in order to speak about it. The perfect example today is, for example, teenagers. They tend to lie to their parents if they want to do something. Let's agree that today we can't control our kids like we were controlled when we were younger. If your daughter wants to do something, she'll happily lie about it in order to do what she wants to. You know, the correct thing to do here is that to have a safe conversation zone, open dialogue with your children in order to have them talk to you about their feelings and what they're going to do, and you raise your tolerance and acceptance of their choices in life. Same thing goes to your partner. If you're going to open up and talk about a secret, and a secret is a secret because it hurts, because it has a negative impact on you. If you're going to talk about it, your partner has to accept it, has to know that it has nothing to do with him, it's not personal about that person, it is something that has happened to you. And you need to be cared for, and you need to be loved and protected and feel safe in order to speak about that secret.
So what about, is there a good time to tell the secret to your spouse?
Yes, don't say it in the middle of an argument, for example.
This is not a good time.
Set the stage first. Exactly. We're going to expose our feelings and be vulnerable. I think it's one of the hardest and most difficult things to get in a stage in a relationship, to feel very vulnerable and share. So when the person in front of you is sharing, don't ruin that.
Exactly.
Then they're not going to share again, or
be
they're going to be scared.
Be respectful. If your partner starts sharing their inner selves and inner thoughts and opening up, be respectful of that. be very much respectful of his choice or her choice to open up to you. So if you decide to come up and say, bring a secret or something that has happened and your spouse doesn't know about it until now, set the intentions clear. Tell them why you haven't said that thing before. And sometimes fear here. I mean, a lot of people hide things out of fear because they don't know how that other person is going to react.
Exactly.
True.
So make sure that the intentions are clear. The mood is nice.
Yes.
That you're in a comfortable, quiet time and
Probably away from the children.
exactly.
Set
And
the intention. We need to talk. Let's sit.
Okay.
yes,
Night.
and the reason, and explain yourself. The reason I have not said that before is
Yes.
da 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 da. da.
And this is why right now I'm gonna say it to you.
Exactly,
I
exactly.
trust you and I care that you know the
Yes.
truth.
And I respect you,
And I need your support.
and I need your support. So if you voice out all your thoughts and have that person ready, and you know that person will accept you no matter what. The worst part is that when people find out that the other partner has been lying
From someone else or
from
somewhere
someone
Oh,
else.
this is
that's a
terrible.
sense of betrayal.
This is
That's
terrible.
a completely different path to take.
Yeah.
And I think that's a damage that I don't think a lot of relationships recover
From
from.
parent, for sure.
Yeah.
So you shared a lot of tips. Like, are there strategies that couples can implement? So they want to have clear path together. They want to be honest with each other. They want to share. Are there strategies that they can implement that can help them have a healthy way of sharing secrets?
Let's agree on something. Their values, their shared values is what matters. So in some couples, it's acceptable not to say the full truth. They're happy about it. They're fine.
Good.
If that works, well done.
Yeah.
But
There's
in
trust.
there
There's
is
not much time to just go through every detail. Sometimes
Exactly.
you have to agree what is important to share and what's not.
exactly. If you know that your partner is all about details and you really care about this partner and this marriage surviving, then make sure you share these details that other partner cares about. And other partner, if you know that this partner is not into much details and can slip, some information may slip here and there, be forgiving.
Okay.
You have to know that you're both humans.
Exactly. Make mistakes.
Mistakes happen.
Happens. Yeah.
It's not deliberate. It's not bad intentions. That's why when we want to talk about our private life or something private or secret that we've kept for a while, we set the intentions correct from the beginning. We say why we didn't say this information.
And something you said about like a doctor you asked about like the secrets from the past. I think what you said, like the conversation being clear from the beginning.
Yes.
Perhaps there are things that hurt him or hurt her from the past that they're not comfortable about sharing. So it's important to say, I have something that I don't want to bring or I want to keep in the past from the beginning.
Yes.
So
You
you
have to
set the
respect.
intention.
Yeah.
And then maybe when you're ready, you can share, or like you're saying, maybe we have pit stops or something in our relationship
Yes.
where, okay, when we reach here, I can talk about this, or when we reach there, I can talk about that.
A lot of relationships suffer from not a nurturing parent from the past. So sometimes we like to keep this beautiful image of the family, but eventually this angry father or this aggressive mother comes through and shows up in one way or the other in a certain behavior, and the partner can be surprised, where did this come from? Here is where you have to sit down and say, I haven't spoken about this before, let's talk about it. I have had this as part of my childhood and it's showing up. You might help me recover or heal this wound, and you take it further. We carry a lot of traumas from our childhood into our adult life.
Correct.
And I think both partners have to be very understanding. And I guess understanding and tolerant and forgiving will make that relationship and this bond stronger.
Absolutely.
Nurture.
Yeah.
I think a good, healthy relationship is also a healing relationship.
Absolutely.
You heal together as a couple.
Absolutely, absolutely.
This has been very helpful. Really enjoyed having you with
Thank
us today.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
very
for
much.
all the advice that you've given us. Do you have any last advice you'd like to tell our viewers before we end our episode?
Enjoy life.
It's too short for drama.
Exactly. Live the moment.
Exactly.
If we live in the moment, we'll enjoy each other's company. Living in the past or in the future is too exhausting.
Thank
Leave
you
the
so
past.
much for your time,
Thank
and
you.
hopefully our dear viewers will take your advices.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dear viewers, we will have a short break and be back. Stay with us.
In this segment, we're going to be sharing with you a movie that you and your family could watch and enjoy. Today's movie is very successful and is an award-winning movie. The Pursuit of Happiness, a 2006 American biographical drama film that was directed by Gabriel Moschino, starring Will Smith and his son Jaden Smith. The story is about a San Francisco salesman, Chris Gardner, trying his best to build a future for himself and his 5-year-old son. After struggling with his job, Chris Gardner got the opportunity to get an unpaid internship in a very competitive stockbroker training program. But without a salary, Chris and his son were evicted from their apartment, and they were forced to sleep on the streets and in homeless shelters and even the locked doors of a metro station. But with self-confidence and the love and trust of his son, Chris Gardner rises above his obstacles to become a Wall Street legend. This movie gives an example of how someone could struggle as a blue-collar worker and gradually builds a successful career while raising children and yet having to give up with some of the beautiful things in life. This is a lesson you might want your kids and yourself to learn.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
All right.
Jay says you're pretty determined.
Where are you going? Go to the hospital. I'm in a competitive internship at Dean Witter.
He said you're smart.
This thing's impossible. I can do it.
No, you can't. No one can.
And we are back, dear viewers, and unfortunately we are reaching the end of this episode with my colleague Dana and talk about a very interesting topic. Dana, what do you think about it?
I feel like we still have a lot we want to discuss because we have questions about how to share the secrets and what's the right time to do it. But you can never know exactly because each couple have a different formula on how it works.
There is no concrete answer
Yeah.
for that. It depends on your spouses or your partner.
Yeah. And like the guest said, it takes a long time to build these habits among couples as long as we have trust and as long as we have understanding among each other
Yes.
and communication.
Yes.
That's what matters.
And exactly, our distinguished guest, Stream Last Fall, she said that respect each other is a very important thing. Respect the privacy for your spouse is very important. Yes.
Yeah, if we trust each other, we should as well allow a little bit of privacy. We don't need to know what his mom told him. He doesn't need to know what my friend's secret is. It's okay to have a little bit of ourselves for ourselves.
I totally agree with you, Dana. So, dear viewers, we're going to see you next week with different topics. So, please take care of each other and going to see you next week.
Thank you for watching us. Hope you enjoyed our episode today. We will see you next week. Goodbye.